That's right, folks. I got a lot of cash and I want more. Just look at that cash stack. If you're wondering why there's a shortage of coins in the US, it's because I have it right in front of you. But let's forget about my stacks of cash and talk about Tesla. If you got in at the high of $500, don't worry, you're only 10% down. Only down a little bit more in after hours. Maybe tomorrow it'll go back up. And that market cap's still coming in at $442 billion. I'm hoping tomorrow that I'll wake up and there'll be videos about this article put out by Jim Collins on Forbes.com. Jim thinks that the revenue Tesla's going to bring in the next quarter is a little too over-exaggerated as far as the estimates go. The thing that shocked me initially was how little revenue Tesla's actually had. Is that true that Tesla only got $6 billion in revenues in the second quarter of 2020? Yesterday I was talking about my stock by Albertsons, and you can see that they made a revenue of $22 billion in their latest quarter. And that article was right. It looks like Tesla only brought in $6 billion. So what do you guys think that quarter 3 is going to bring in? For some reason I had it in my head that Tesla was revenuing $20 billion a quarter. I was way off. So does Tesla warrant having a $400+ billion market cap? Or is Tesla stock gonna crash and burn? I guess I shouldn't really care because I don't even own Tesla stock, and my Albertsons stock was up 6 cents today, 0.43%. At this rate, I'll be living large in no time. I love how Jim Collins' article calls Tesla a car company, even though he acknowledges that everybody else thinks it's a tech company. He's saying, come on. 86% of its reported $6 billion in revenues is from car sales. And that got me thinking a lot about Tesla cars. I know when you're out there driving around, you can spot a Model 3 lickety-split. But do you ever look at a Tesla and you can't immediately tell whether it's the Model Y or the Model 3? I'm having problems with that too. I think this Model Y will be successful, but do you guys think that the Model Y will cannibalize sales of the Model 3? There's another thing to think about. For the most part, Tesla's sales are in the United States. But the thing about Americans is that we really like variety, and a lot of times we don't care about practicality. If everybody had a Tesla, would you want a Tesla, or would you want something else? Or are cars just like an iPhone? Everybody has an iPhone, and nobody cares whether you have the same one or not. Who drives Teslas anyway? I think it's dudes. Every time I see a Tesla, it's always a dude driving it. Do women even drive these things? I'm gonna press enter on this Google search right now in real time and see what's up. Women own 29% of Model X vehicles and men own 71%. And even the Model 3, women only own 16% of Model 3s? Men own 84%? That Model X is pretty expensive. It says the average household income of a Model X owner is $143,000 per year. You saw my change stack earlier in the video. I have to admit that 143 is a lot of change. Here are the Model X sales figures by year. Obviously 2015 wasn't big because I believe that's when it came out. It seems the average did go up through 18 and maybe down in 2019. Well, let's say you're about 22,000 on average units. Do you guys think this trend will continue to stay relatively flat, or is there going to be an increase in these expensive Model X's? The Model 3 does have some huge numbers, almost 160,000 in 2019. That's impressive. It will be interesting to see what the 2020 sales figures are. And the Model Y is selling really well. I'm just curious if the Model Y is gonna pick off consumers of the Model 3. I'm not sure if the sales figures will be through the roof. Regardless, they are pretty much selling every car they make. But I think the big news will be in this battery. I don't think a 1,000,000-mile battery matters too much. Honestly, I've had my car for 16 years and I have just about 160,000 miles on it. Teslas today are already getting 300, 400, 500,000 miles on those batteries. I think what's more likely to come out is faster charging times and much, much more mileage. If you had a battery that can charge in less than 30 minutes and give you 600 miles, I think that would change the game forever. That's why I'm convinced that the Cybertruck will probably be the vehicle to me. 500 plus mile range? Yowzers. I realize that a lot of you got burned by buying Tesla at the high of 500 and now you're down 10%. That hurts, and believe me, it happens to me all the time. I have to give solving the money problem credit because he's basically saying Tesla is a long-term investment. There will probably be large up and downs, but in the long run, Tesla is cheap today. I do believe in that sentiment, but I do think that Tesla is still way overpriced for today. This could be the good price 5-10 years from now, but today I don't think it should be anywhere near $440 billion market cap with revenue of $30 billion. Once upon a while, I was at a Christmas party and someone said that Apple wasn't doing so well. Maybe that was back in 2012 or 13 and the stock had stagnated, and the person who I was talking with said that Apple had lost its mojo. I didn't even own Apple, but I went home and I looked at Apple's earnings, and this was pre-split, so 2 splits ago. Apple was making so much money, my jaw hit the floor, and that's when I bought into Apple. And of course, it's been a great investment. The trailing earnings at the time for Apple was 11 when I bought it. And I thought, with these big software, hardware companies, what if the multiple just expanded to like 20 something, That would be an easy double. The revenue and the profit just kept getting higher and higher and higher, and the multiple kept moving with the increase in profits. I absolutely loved it. Now that the multiple has expanded, it could be a little frothy, or that's just new monetary theory or whatever they call it, and everything's going to have a multiple of 100 plus. The only point I'm making with that story is that it still can pay to wait for a good price. Was the price around $200, $300 back in 2013-14 a good price? I don't really think so, because the market priced in additional factories and sales that were way far ahead in the future. So you languished for 6 years. Now you come to recently in 2019, you have, I believe, 3 additional factories, sales reaching 500,000 vehicles, and the stock price was only $200 pre-split. And at that moment, I think Tesla was probably a good price. And we all know what happened from there. I think what's happening now with Tesla is that you're going to hit this $400, $500 billion market cap, but now Tesla has to perform. It has to fulfill those orders. It has to fulfill what it said it's going to do. How long is that going to take? Can they do it by 2025? Probably. In the meantime, we'll just have to wait and see. Tell me what you think, and we can talk about anything, as long as it's Tesla.